So if we've got a head that produces similar ball speed to everything else on the market and a shaft that produces that head correctly at impact, why does it matter what it costs? Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon down here at Sandford Springs Golf Club. Cheap Adams fairway head, expensive aftermarket shaft in the end of it. Really interesting video. I want to talk about aftermarket shafts and should you be buying them, because obviously they're going to be more premium than just your standard second-hand club sales. And obviously when we're buying second-hand clubs, we're trying to keep good value, budget at mind, as well as obviously getting the best out of our golf game. Now Martin, a gentleman that watches this channel, sold a few clubs to me. This was one of them. Adams head, Oban shaft. Very interesting combination, and I know where he got club fitted for it because it was locally. It's down the road in Basingstoke by Jason McNiven. Jason knows a lot about the game. He has years of experience when it comes to club fitting, and he has the best of the best when it comes to heads, shafts, no stone left unturned. So I don't know how much Martin paid for this club, but I imagine it would have been quite a bit, to the point that I'm easily saying this club was worth over £200, because the shaft would have been like 140, 150 alone at the time, and then whatever the head was. But what is it worth now, and is it any good, and should we be looking at aftermarket shafts like Oban and all the others, as well as the heads to go with it? Guys, if you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So before we talk about that 260-yard monster I just ripped down the middle, there's two things we need to be very clear on. Number one, ball speed has not changed in woods over the last 10 years. So this Adam wood that I have here, the head itself, still was able to produce 260 yards worth with a good strike and the club face and path at the target. Number two is the shaft is purely there to deliver that head at certain club speed at the target, not closing it too much, not opening it too much, making sure it's got enough loft so I'm getting the right trajectory, the right spin, everything else. So if we've got a head that produces similar ball speed to everything else on the market and a shaft that produces that head correctly at impact, why does it matter what it costs? Three years ago, I would have killed to hit 3 tee shots like that off the fourth down the parks here at Sandford Springs, and now I've just rattled 3 in a row with this club that I've only hit 4 times. So in terms of value of this club, I've seen on eBay, and there's not many of them out there, I think you can get the head and a different shaft altogether for about £30. The shaft itself, I think this club would be worth more if I took the head off, because the shaft I've seen, I think if you get a brand new fairway shaft, is about £100. Secondhand, I probably could get £40 maybe. I paid Martin £45 for the club, and I know, and I explained to him, obviously I know how much he would have paid for it back in the day, but it's just not that sought after now. But why? Because it's great value. I've just hit 3, ultimately the best tee shots in a row of the hardest hole around the parks in my eyes, so surely it should be worth more than £45. That's the point I'm trying to get. If you find a club with the right loft and the right shaft, the right grip, it's priceless. This game's very good at humbling you and obviously bringing you back down to earth when I was being arrogant, going, yeah, ripping 3, and then I just fat one straight right. But that's important as well to see, because technique and your swing is always king. Now in terms of the Adams wood itself, the most, or let's say, its most similar competitor in terms of feel, sound, and the way it addresses, because I like this wood because it actually sits really nice and close to the ground. Too many woods like Callaway, TaylorMade, they're kind of built for the tee. They're built for that tee shot where you need a tiny bit more like elevation off the ground. Whereas these are kind of more designed for a player that wants to hit that shot into the par 5, wants to hit it out of the rough. It's very similar to Ping. Ping and Mizuno, I say, it's closest competitor. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a wood, for example, maybe you're just beginning the game and you don't want to go down the Ping route, because I really do recommend Ping woods, this could be a cheap alternative. Very forgiving and goes like an absolute rocket when you do have it out in the middle. So we've talked a lot about the head, but we haven't spoken much about the shaft, and whether you should be throwing money or buying expensive shafts for your golf game. And the simple answer is no. I get asked a lot, and I mean a lot, Simon, do you think a stiff flex shaft will help me? Simon, will a lighter shaft help me? Simon, should I get a shaft with more torque, or should I get a shaft with less torque? And honestly, I have no idea. No one does. I don't think a club fitter in the world on paper would just be able to go, oh, you've got this shot, oh, this will do the job. Unfortunately, you need to stand there with a multitude of shafts, multitude of heads, go through that process, and that is why club fitting or new clubs themselves are so expensive. You should not buy a new club, tailor-made, Callaway, whatever, off the shelf. You have to go through that fitting process, and then that club has to get built specifically for you. Then maybe you will see the upsides of that shaft and head combination. You purely just can't guess. You can't just pick a shaft and a head, and sometimes you're going to get lucky, and by all means do not get rid of that club, because that club is well suited to you. When it comes to expensive shafts, they're light and they're very stiff. That is the combination of an expensive shaft, because the materials, the manufacturing, what goes into it is a very difficult process of getting a light shaft, i.e. high club head speed, but being able to control that head throughout the swing. So you're getting the stiffness, the torque, and the lightness as a combination. The boring fact is, the majority of you are going to be more suited to the cheap shafts, purely because it's going to sort out your low right shot, it's going to stop your slice, it's going to get the ball up in the air more, and ultimately it's going to let you play better shots. I've absolutely rifled that. I wanted to hit a few off the deck just to get a feeling of what it's like, and yeah, as I say, Jason's an excellent club builder, and Martin would have got that 3-wood kitted out for him for his swing at the time, and it would have served a purpose, and Martin then has full confidence knowing that that club works for him and he can work on his technique going forward, and spending 100, 200, 300 pounds is then worth it if you're at a certain level. However, the sad truth is that all of our swings change over time. If you're new to the game, your swing's going to change even more. Therefore, if you get club fitted 1 month, the clubs potentially next month won't be worth that much. And that's why I'm a big advocate of secondhand stuff. Trying as much stuff out there. Build your swing to a stage where it's only going to move a small percentage. I'm not talking 40-yard slice to 30-yard draw, which a lot of my lessons have. It's pointless getting club fitted when your swing is just like that. You might as well cut your teeth on equipment that is close enough to your skill level. Close enough with the shaft. Maybe it is a bit short, maybe it is a bit long, maybe they are too upright, but you're still going to be able to learn golf with them. I've played with a 3-wood today, never played with it before, and I've still been able to manage as good shots as any club fitted club I've ever had in my hands. But that's only purely down to experience and a bit of editing. This at £60 or whatever it's worth today in 2020 is great value for a very decent 3-wood. It doesn't look the best in terms of up-to-dateness. The aesthetics aren't great. You've got marks and scuffs all over the top. You've got chip paint work. There's a wear mark halfway down the shaft as well from the bag that would have been of Martin's. So you're paying the price in terms of aesthetics, but for the raw convenience of having a decent wood in your bag, that does the job. If you are at a certain level, obviously you need a half decent club head speed to use this, then it's obviously a must in your bag. The question is, how do you find that head and that shaft combination? That's just a bit of luck. I need to come up with some kind of chart that has price down one side, the year 2020 at the top, and then performance or overall performance down the bottom side, because this would be obviously low on the price side but great for performance. Vice versa, there'll be clubs this year that cost £350 that are obviously high on the price side but low on the performance. I think that will give people a very good understanding on what's good out there and what's not. So guys, there you have it. I hope you liked that video on this Adams Club. Martin, thank you again for obviously getting in contact and obviously giving me the opportunity to hit this, well, pretty rare find to be honest, because I can't imagine there's many of them out there. Left-handed bag, as you can see, is out again. We're getting practice. Thank you ever so much for the love on the last video. Left-handed game is coming on strong, and as I say, we're trying to break 80 by Feb, so I need to practice. But it's English beach, summer, the sun's out, the course is looking amazing. I'm pumped. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Leave this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.